Welcome to another episode of Inside Trial Minds, where we dive deep into the minds of our nation's top-ranked attorneys, how they think, how they fight, and how they ultimately win their cases.
I remember asking the jury, or we asked the jury for $10 million in the case, which is like ridiculous back then, in Cleveland, Ohio, for a nursing home case in 2015 or whatever. And the jury came back with $4.4 million. And I was like, wait, we've been settling these cases, $500,000 was considered a big case, a good result on those. And what I started realizing is not there's this lucrative field out here, but the way that we look at these people is not the way that society looks at these people, right? We as lawyers get so jaded sometimes, right? And you hear us talk about cases like a leg off case, right? Or this kind of case, right? We look at it in a different way. We sometimes lose focus of who people are. So you see the jury's looking at this as their parents, right? And I realized this is a really underserved population, both in nursing homes and the legal field. So pretty soon after that, I left and started my private firm. And I decided exclusively do that, and I've done nothing else since beginning of 2017. This is all I'm done.
Something horrible had happened to their client, and they were the victims of injustice. And we can make a bunch of arguments for why they should get less, or why they should get this, or why they shouldn't get that on the defense side. But at the end of the day, there was one side that was fighting for the good guy, and there was one side trying to make the bad guy pay nothing or pay less. And the moment that sort of crystallized for me, I said, well, I definitely want to be on the side with the good guys.
Pressure is an amplifier of our internal emotional state. And so if we walk into the courtroom highly anxious, that pressure is going to push us further outside of that edge where we're not going to be able to perform. Whereas if we are coming into the courtroom prepared and confident in our ability to do whatever it is that we're going to do on trial, the pressure allows us access to that full measure of all of our skill sets that hopefully we've taken the time to develop. And focusing on the process and on one thing at a time is really how you manage your own mind and are able to stay present, as opposed to spiraling out of control, thinking about, hey, is my preparation, was it enough? Am I going to be okay? At that point, the hay is in the barn. You're just there to do your thing. It's just like preparing for a sporting event. You cannot lift enough weight in the week before an event to get stronger. There's no free speed on game day. You just have to be, it has to be you. It has to be in you already.